We are live. We are live. Hey, everybody. It is Kelly Charles Collins and my amazing guest, Keisha Hickson, who's my client, also my friend, and one of the featured speakers for IQONIK Talks. So, what are we doing today? We're going to be doing this with all the speakers for IQONIK Talks. And I really wanted you to get to know them, to understand what they're going to be talking about, what their topics are, what really drives them, and why this is so important for them to talk about these topics and just in general to get to know them, right? But before we get started, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kelly Charles Collins. I am the CEO of HR Legally Speaking, which is a training and consulting firm. And I work with corporations to help them to build inclusive and conversational cultures where every person and every voice matters. I'm also the CEO of Speaker Moguls. And in Speaker Moguls, I work with women speakers, experts, and thought leaders to position, pitch, and package their expertise on stages and in workplaces so that they can create income, impact, and influence. So, last month, I started a new program for Speaker Moguls, and that program is called Thought Leader Circle. And Thought Leader Circle is where I work with those women speakers, thought leaders, experts. And it's a 12-month program. And Keisha is one of the clients in that program. And when we started in November, there were 7 clients in there. And I had a very harebrained idea that I wanted to have a conference. And that I wanted them, hey, everybody, say hello wherever you're watching us. Please say hello. I had this harebrained idea that I wanted to have a conference. And I wanted to have an HR conference, one, because most of them, or all of them, talk about things that really impact the workplace, but they're also topics that some of the topics you can really leverage in your personal lives. So I said to them, hey, remember now, this is November. So this is like November 18th. I said, hey, do you want to do a conference? I have this idea that I want to have a conference and I want to do it during Women's History Month, which is March. And I said, it's just like 3 months away. And they all said yes. And they were all in and they've been working diligently. So I wanted to, as we're coming up to the conference, because it's a new conference and people may not know who I am, may not know who some of the speakers are. They're all accomplished in their own right. I wanted to do these interviews on our Thought Leader Circle show so that you get to know them and that you will join us. Hopefully you will join us at IQONIK Talks. So if you want to join us at IQONIK Talks, let me put this up for you really quickly. There's the banner for you, and you can sign up at IQONIK. Why does it have us like big? Well, I like us big like this. You can sign up at IQONIKTalks.com. And I want you to know that through January 15th, we still have special launch pricing. So it's only $100 for general admission. It is $200 for VIP. And if you have your SHRM certification, it is approved for 2.25 PDCs. And we're working on getting the HRCI credits too. So it's worth it all around to support and come and watch some amazing women who are redefining leadership. But before we begin, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to pull us back out, I guess. What I'm going to do is I am going to have Keisha introduce herself, and then we're just going to have a chat for a little while.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kelly. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. My name is Keisha Hickson, and I mostly work with corporations and associations and mostly women conferences. So I talk about helping women come out of that sneaky trap of complacency, that trap of I'm comfortable, I'm doing the best I can, but are you really living up to your potential? Helping them rediscover their dreams and reimagine their legacies and really start to lead a life that they can be proud of that lives after them. So my talk or my coaching training is really geared around that, how we get so comfortable in these limits we put on ourselves, or sometimes limits that society tell us, and how we kind of get stuck here when we get comfortable, like, all right, I could check the box off and I'm good. But are you really good? So
I love it. I love it. You know, we always talk about that, right? People are always talking about complacency, being in their comfort zone,
mm-hmm.
and what are the things that are going to move you. And sometimes we have these topics, especially as speakers, we have these topics because things have happened to us in our lives, either our personal lives or our professional lives. And so it's something that really drives us to want to have these types of conversations, right? You know, we're always talking about as speakers, like really having conversations with people. What is it, Keisha, that, you know, what is it in your professional or your personal life that has caused you to really want to talk about, you know, the cost, really, as we said, the title here, the high cost of complacency?
You know, so a little bit of background. I worked for the same company for 26 years. I had a progressive career from very junior level to very senior level for 26 years. In 2016, I was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer, multiple myeloma. And up until this point, I thought everything was great. I mean, it was good. I was comfortable. I was able to go on vacation. I had accolades behind my name. But then I get this diagnosis and I can possibly not see my 44th birthday. And I was 38. So it just made me took pause to be like, really, what am I doing? Right? Because, you know, you always think you have time. And I always think I got time to figure something out. Those who know me know I'm going to figure it out later. But it just put me in a situation to let me know I may not have time. And the first thing that went to my mind was, what will be my legacy? Like, if I passed away, this company, this big global financial institution, is going to send my family flowers, and life is going to go on, and that's all I'm going to be known for. And I had to take stock of what I was really doing for 26 years, and it just pushed me in a place where, one, I couldn't give up. I couldn't give up on life, and I had to leave my mark. If it was going to go down in 5 years, I had to leave my mark. Like, this is what you're going to say. This happened, and she did this, this, and this. So it really was a wake-up call for me. It changed my perspective on how I see a lot of things. Mm-hmm. A lot of things that I thought was important is not important. A lot of trivial things that we concern ourselves with at the end of the day is really not that important. So for me, and then as the years went on, from 2016 to present, I was trying to kind of figure out where would I stand? Like, what can I do to really impact others to hear my story and make a change, right? Because when you look at me, you don't know that I battle a critical illness, right? You don't know that I go take chemo almost every week, that I go to the doctor. Like, I just see like I'm healthy, happy, and moving along. And that is some truth to that because I am in remission. But battling a chronic, incurable illness puts you in a special box, right? It puts you in a box of every month when I take a blood test, am I going the other way or am I still stable, right? So you almost got to feel like you're living your life like it's your last every day. And I just want to like start to let my friends and family members and the women around me, because I'm a community leader and I became an advocate for multiple myeloma of, you got to do better. Like, we don't have time. You got to take baby steps towards whatever it is you want to do. So that's what actually happened to me at that point. Because I thought I was going to retire from financial services and retire like everybody else, and then go into my second career, and then live my whole life, and then travel the world, and then do this, and then do that. But it didn't plan out that way.
And you are living, right, kind of your second life. And y'all listen, so she's being a little bit she's not telling you like everything. She's like, oh yeah, I started like lower level and then up here. She started as a part-time teller in banking, and then she became a VP. So this is somebody who has really, you know, taken her career to a whole new level. And so when she talks to you about, you know, being complacent and what it means to think, oh yeah, you know, this is good. Like, I got it. This is good. But then as she says to you, like, I had this wake up call. And so Keisha, for people who are like, yeah, but that's a real, you know, you had a diagnosis, right? That they're basically saying you had this amount of time to live. But for people who are like, well, I don't have that type of diagnosis. I don't have that type of critical, you know, trigger in front of me. Talk to them about why it's still important. Like, it doesn't have to be something as, you know, as major as a life-threatening diagnosis, but why should we be really focused on, you know, going out there and building our legacy?
Because a couple of things. It doesn't have to be something as critical as what I have, but life happens, life events. When I worked in financial services, we talked about life events from like when you got married to when you retired, when you had your first child, things happen in your life, right? And you want to be able to say, I was able to do this at my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s, because it may not be as critical as mine, but it can be, God forbid, with divorce happens. Mm-hmm. Separation happens, financial hardship happens, right? But you just want to be able to live your life fulfilled and build your own legacy and live your narrative. Because when you start to get into the comfort zone, you're just going through, you're just on autopilot. You will forget what you're supposed to be doing. It becomes so robotic. Like if you just think about your morning, and I'm guilty of it, you leave home in the morning, you stop at your favorite Starbucks. If you go to the same Starbucks, they know what you want before you walk in the door. Hey, Keisha, I'm coming up, right up. You get your coffee and then you go to work. We're living on this autopilot type of way, right? So it seems comfortable and good, and it is. Nothing's wrong with it. But if you really look from when you graduated from 18, when you graduated from high school, and then you went to college, or whatever those milestones were, are you really living the life you thought you were going to live?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the only thing I would say. And then don't wait until something critical happens. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. Like this is different for a lot of people. It could be learning a second language. It can be writing a book. It could be volunteering at your church. You want to start a not-for-profit. You want to reconnect with your old college roommate. Whatever that thing is that you keep putting it off, just put a plan in place and try to go after it. Like almost try to live your life without regrets.
Yeah. And one of the things that, we're always talking about as you're going into this conference and you're going to be, really sharing your presentation around this is giving people this roadmap to get there. So when you do your talk at IQONIK Talks, will you be giving them practical things? Because it's one thing for us to tell people, go build your legacy or get out of your comfort zone. People are always saying, well, get out of your comfort zone. But will you be sharing with them, tips and strategies, things that they can actually do to start to move out of their comfort zone, to get out of this place of complacency?
Yes, I will be. It's a roadmap that I use for myself. That now that I use within the corporate training. So we can take a step back just in my corporate life. As successful as I wasn't that successful, right? Because I stayed in my vertical, which was retail banking. And I had tons of opportunities to go to different areas, branch out over here and branch out over there, but would always come back to, I'm good right here. Because I knew what to do inside and out, right? I became extremely comfortable. I could do the job with the back of my hand. If there was an issue, I know who to call and I know how to solve it. So that me being comfortable and the resistance to stretch myself out of my comfort zone also hindered my professional career. All the accolades, I would have more accolades if I had just said, all right, I'm going to dive into this other group. So over time, I've developed this, what I call creating your next. And it kind of happened overnight, right? So in 2017, I decided to open my first business. And because I was newly diagnosed, I was like, I got to do this. I got 3 months. It got to happen. And it caused me to have a laser precision. So I decided to open up my first business in October. And I opened up December 17th. It had to happen. So the first thing is really kind of acknowledge where you are. And for me at that time was accepting my disease, right? This is what it is. Can't cry with so much. You got to keep moving. Accept it where I'm at, where I'm at with it, and trust my medical team is going to do the best for me. And I'm going to educate myself as much as I can. I read everything. I didn't sleep for 6 months. I read everything possible on multiple myeloma. 2 is to just give yourself grace. It happened. Let's move on. But the roadmap is where the meat and potatoes is, because you have to understand where you want to go and figure out the people, skills, and the resources that you need, and almost kind of foresee what these roadblocks can be and build it into the plan.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was still working, huh?
No, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So at that time I was still working too, and my daughter was 8 years old. So between working, taking care of my daughter, and my family obligations, I still had to open. I had to do it. So I kind of forced myself to really. It's more than just writing it down, but breaking it down by every step that I needed, who I needed, contractors, electricians, a lawyer, and outsourcing what I needed to still get to my end goal. Because there's always going to be roadblocks.
Yeah.
While I'm going through treatment. So I had to sit in that middle for a while to understand I'm going to get to the end, but I have to anticipate all these things that possibly come up and be prepared for it. And it doesn't paralyze me into stopping or slowing me down or taking me off course. Excuse me.
Yeah, I want to jump in right there for a second, Keisha, because I think there are some people who will be listening, right? And they may think, yeah, it's great, but I have a VP position. I am an attorney. I am a CPA. I'm a, whatever, maybe making a lot of money and being afraid. And I want you to talk about the transition and just where you are now in terms of like building your businesses and just using all that expertise you've had to really build these really these profitable businesses. So talk about that so that people aren't afraid, especially women. Sometimes we get afraid, and if we're the breadwinner in our family, we're concerned to maybe shift and go after that dream that we have. And so that's why we stay, in our complacency and our comfort. So give them some hope around, the ability to jump out there and do the things that they want to do.
There's always going to be fear. Fear is a normal emotion. But I'm going to tell you how to get rid of fear. It's clarity. You have to have a clear plan, understand what your why is, and always come back to your why. It's always going to be fair. It's fair as investing money, how it's going to be received. People will like my idea. But once you have clarity around what it is most important to you, and you go back to your why, I call your why like almost like your North Star. Right? You got to become clear on that. And that has to be something within you, for you, that's going to make you feel fulfilled. Mm-hmm. It can be for other people. And at some point, you got to drown the noise out of what other people are saying. Why are you starting this business? This, that, and the third. You have to know why. You have to know why you want to learn a second language, and hold on to that. Because one thing I know for sure, time goes on, and all these opinions or these roadblocks or these little things in your head, they fizzle out. And then you start to question yourself, why exactly did I do it? I'm not saying you should go quit your job or just go cold turkey. At least work towards it. And when you work towards it, you may realize this is not that important to me. This is. Sometimes you got to try a thing to know that's not it or it isn't. You just can't sit with it because then you actually never really know.
Yeah.
So for me, clarity played a big part in what should be my next move or my next venture or how I want to live this second half of my life.
And talk about the businesses that you have.
So in 2017, I opened up a kid salon in Brooklyn called Shining Star Kid Salon. That business is still up and running. And then during the pandemic, I started a company called Survivant, which is a wellness company. It's skincare, aromatherapy, and body care. And right after the pandemic, I owned a business in Hudson Yards, one of the top real estate markets in New York City, in the mall, a luxury gifting business. And now I only have the Hickson agency has come along because I decided this is the path that I wanted to go. I wanted to use my years in banking, my years in corporate, my personal story to help women see life beyond whatever the situation is. Yeah. Right? I think as women, we take a lot on and we get comfortable. I can't do this because I have to take my son to soccer, X, Y, and Z. And our counterparts are doing it. Whatever it takes to get to the next level, they're doing it. Mm-hmm. One morning I was at the gym and this guy has all his cue cards on the treadmill. Whatever he's studying for, he got it. What we would be doing? Home, sitting down, not working out, trying to study. They do it, and we can do it too. we can.
Yeah.
So the Hickson Agency is my speaking and coaching and consultancy business.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for you to I'm excited for you to share your story at IQONIK Talks and really help people to understand and help women. We're always talking about women because I work with women inside of Speaker Moguls, but it's for everyone. It's for, however you identify, this applies to you. There is a real high cost to complacency, a high cost to being comfortable, a high cost to not pursuing your dreams, right? And to one of the biggest things that people they say when they talk to people in nursing homes, right, that are at the end of their life and asking them, and they say, one of the biggest things is regret. We regret that we didn't, go after that job, or we regret that we didn't spend more time on the weekends with our family, or we just didn't say no, right, to things that didn't serve us. And so I'm really excited about your talk. I'm really excited about all the talks and everyone that's going to be speaking at IQONIK Talks, because it's a rounded group of women. And as we talk about women redefining leadership, we often think about leadership only in the context of work and job titles. And for example, what you're going to be speaking about, this is also about leadership, right? This is about personal leadership. It's also about professional leadership. So Keisha, why should people come to IQONIK Talks? Why should they get their tickets today?
Listen, buy your tickets. We are 7 dynamic women who have probably over 100 years of experience combined to talk to you from different perspectives, right? Different walks of life, different perspectives, different experiences. There's some lawyers, PhDs in the group, like HR professionals from different lens. You know what I mean? It's great to hear perspectives from other people's lens, right? And you'd be surprised how you can see yourself in that person.
Yeah.
So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see all of you on March 26th. Get your tickets.
Get your tickets. And since we're having our launch special still, let's see, we have 7 more days through January 15th. General admission tickets are $100. VIP tickets are $200. And as I said, if you have a SHRM certification, we have already approved for 2.25 credits for SHRM, and we're in the process of getting the HRCI credits. So if you go to iconictalks.com, you'll see everything there. All the speakers are there. You'll see all their pictures. You'll see what their topics are. You'll get a summary of what their topics are. And in addition to attending as a participant, there's other ways that you can support IQONIK Talks. So if you'd like to be a sponsor for the event, if you'd like to be an exhibitor for the event, if you want to provide virtual swag, there's that. And we're also looking for some ambassadors to help us to really promote the event. And so for some of you, you're probably like, I've never heard of IQONIK Talks. You haven't, because this is our inaugural conference. But if you know anything about me, you know it's going to be good. You know it is going to be good. Go ahead, Keisha.
But also, you didn't tell them, like, we're going to have breakout rooms, exhibitor rooms. You can meet the speaker after. Like, this is just not a virtual conference going like, wah, here goes another speaker. There's activities throughout the day.
She's right. And so, and the other thing to understand too is that what's going to happen at IQONIK Talks is micro presentation. So you're not going to be sitting virtually. Sometimes it's hard to sit virtually through, multiple hour-long presentations. So you're actually going to be experiencing 7 20-minute presentations, but they're going to be jam-packed with information. So don't think that you're going to come and it's going to be fluff. There's no fluff. This is real, actionable. So when you leave from every speaker, you will have practical, actionable advice. And as Keisha just mentioned, we're going to have breakout rooms. So we'll have breakout rooms where you can go visit the exhibitors during lunch. We're going to have what we call collabosourcing, which is to leverage your expertise, resources, and relationships to build your business, your brand, and your badassery. So it's our way of networking. So what we're going to do is open breakout rooms during lunch so that you can go into the breakout room and meet the people who are there. We're going to have an event app. So you'll be able to communicate with people on the app, connect with people on the app, connect with sponsors, connect with exhibitors on the app. Let's see what else is happening there. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to do some giveaways, and we're going to have Q&A. So if you're in the, if you buy your VIP ticket, at the end of the day, we're going to have a VIP Q&A. So you'll be able to speak with all the speakers and ask them questions, ask them whatever you want to ask them. And throughout, we're just going to keep this really lively and exciting. It's not going to be just like a boring conference. So don't worry about that. It's not going to be, I know y'all are summited out from the pandemic. It's not that either. It really is a conference. So I'm a speaker. All the women who are speaking are professional speakers. And so it's just like going to an in-person conference, but we're going to do it right and do it fun and make sure that you have fun, but also make sure that you get what you came for, and which is to really start to look at leadership differently and really evolve. I did a survey, and when we looked at the survey, some of the results from the survey, leadership was the top topic. My brain just went frozen. Leadership was the top topic that people said that they wanted to learn more about. So it was leadership, communication, workplace culture, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. All of those things will be covered during IQONIK talks in the different talks that you'll be hearing throughout the day. So get your ticket. Don't wait. Like, get your ticket. And if you have a team, bring your team, because we have group rates. If you have 5 or more people, we have group rates. So yeah, what you waiting on? Get your ticket. I'm going to drop the link in the comments. So it's www.iconictalks.com. And if you have any questions, if you're watching and you have any questions for me or for Keisha, I'm happy, and she's happy to answer.
I would love to hear the questions. Yes.
Those questions. Angelica was here. Erica was here. Jonay was here. I'm not sure who's here right now, but I see that there are people here. So if you want to say hello, if you have a question or a comment, please feel free. We are happy to chat with you. So Keisha, anything else you want the people to know, about coming to the conference?
Listen, I think it's definitely going to be an iconic event. It'll be time well served for yourself and your team.
Yes.
So we look forward to hosting you guys, meeting you guys on that day. I think you also should point out that we're all going to be in person in the studio, and there'll be virtual coming in, right? So we'll all be together, almost like a news broadcast, almost. I had to explain that to someone today. I look forward to seeing you guys. I would love to see you guys that day on the 26th and to hear your feedback about the talks. It's definitely going to be eye-opening and perspective shifting. The talk. So it's the beginning of the year. It's Women's History Month. It's a great time to really reassess the leadership within your companies, right?
Yeah.
This is the top of the year where we start setting goals and KPIs and doing action plans. And sometimes we always need a refresher of better practices and how to lead people a little bit better, right? Because we all get comfortable, and that's just from a senior manager, we all get comfortable at some point, right? And how do we lead our team? Because we need our team, right? We need them to be better, come to work, engage, we feel safe to offer their ideas, that they're being heard, receive that information and implement. So I think it's a great time of the year just to take a step back and see how these talks can help your organization.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm glad that you said, Keisha, that we'll be live. So the actual event is a live event. So it's not pre-recorded. So the talks will not be pre-recorded and then played on that day. On March 26th, it will be an actual full-on live event. All the speakers will be in Florida together, and then you'll be virtual, but every person will be speaking live. So you want to be there. You want to make sure that you're there. Now, if you think that, listen, life happens, and maybe on that day you can be there for part of the day, but you can't, I would encourage you to get the VIP ticket, because you'll have access to the recordings for 30 days afterwards. So that'll give you some time to catch up on them, and, be able to just listen to maybe something that you missed or you really wanted to hear again. So whether you're going to be there all day or you're going to miss some of it, that you will miss some of it, get the VIP ticket. And right now it's $200. Get the VIP ticket, and, you can really get in. And you know what, Keisha, I think I want to do?
What?
I think I want to do this for everybody who's here. Should we give them a discount code?
Of course.
I think we should give them a discount code. So if you happen to land on this video, whether you're here now or if you watch it on the replay, I'm going to put this code in for you. If you put 25 off, and it is case sensitive. So it's 25 and then lowercase OFF. If you put that as the coupon code when you go to checkout, and so that's whether it is general admission or VIP, you'll get $25 off.
Cool.
So yeah. See, we want y'all to come. We're trying to do everything we can to support you and to support this journey for you. So join us as we have these amazing women help you to redefine your leadership journey, whether it's your personal or your professional journey. All you have to do is go to IQONIKtalks.com. That's IQONIK talks.com, IQONIKtalks.com. Vanice is here. She says, we love a discount. And Vanice is one of our other speakers. So you'll meet her. You'll actually meet her on Friday.
Oh,
Friday. Great. Yes, you'll meet her on Friday. So thank you all for joining us today. Grab your ticket. If you have any questions about being a sponsor, exhibitor, or providing swag, all you have to do is reach out to me. You can DM me. You can find me on all social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I'm there, all Kelly Charles Collins. And I hope to see you all. And Keisha, I'm so excited, and I can't wait for them to see you too.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.